tell you goodnight, 'cause I'll find a better one. Yeah, susceptible now before the moment flies. Ooh, so tell you goodnight, 'cause I'll find a better one. Ooh, susceptible now before the moment flies. It's not a problem, no, 'cause I know what I'm getting into. Yes. Yeah, and nothing can stop me. No, 'cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Lead the way, I follow. No need to say where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all. So tell you goodnight, 'cause I'll find a better one. Yeah, susceptible now before the moment flies. Before it flies. So tell you goodnight, 'cause I'll find a better one. Susceptible now before the moment flies.
All right. What is going on, everybody? What's up, Locked In Nation? Welcome back to the Locked In Podcast, your hub for personal development tips, sports news, music, and much, much more. I'm excited to hop into this tonight with you guys. It's been a while since we did a sports episode here at the Locked In Podcast, but we are back with one tonight. We are based out of Philadelphia, so no matter where you're watching, we're your Philadelphia Eagles fans. Y'all know this by now if y'all have watched any of our sports episodes. We're big-time Eagles fans, guys. I'm excited to hop into this tonight. What we're going to be talking about is the 2022 Philadelphia Eagles season. Starts in a few weeks. We're going to preview the season, break down an analysis, look at the schedule, just ultimately give our thoughts, maybe a little hot takes along the way. We'll see. But this is going to be an exciting one. Guys, I want to introduce back special guest Rich Mitchell. Rich has been on the podcast for numerous episodes, not just sports ones, but he's been on for other ones as well. But Rich, appreciate you taking the time tonight, bro, to come on, man, and welcome back.
You already know, man. I wouldn't miss this for the world. It's an honor being back on the Locked In Podcast. I'm glad to be here.
Appreciate you, man, dude. These Eagles ones, man, they get spicy, bro. They get spicy, man. We always have a good time in here. And guys, you know, I know a lot of y'all that are probably watching and probably Eagles fans too. Throughout this episode, guys, we appreciate your feedback. So drop those comments below.
Those likes,
this is going to be a fire episode tonight, guys.
Yeah,
and we're at episode 95, guys. So we're going to be taking a break, going back to personal development for the next couple of weeks. So enjoy this one, but we will have an Eagles one in September too with this very, very special guest. So that one's going to be fire too. But 5 away from 100, man. It's crazy. It's been a long way. If you guys have been a listener at the beginning, an OG or a recent listener or somewhere along the middle, no matter what, we appreciate you guys. So I'm going to hop into the intro real quick. We'll play a hype video after. Before we do, guys, 3 things. You know, if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, as always, smash that like button. If you're watching on YouTube and you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And if you're not following us on notifications, smash the notification bell and turn notifications on because we drop a new episode every single week and you do not want to miss it. Number 2, as I already stated, if you got some feedback, drop it in the comments, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube. We always appreciate that feedback, and we will post your comments live on the screen. And number 3, just sit back, relax, and enjoy the podcast, guys.
Watch the show.
2022, as I always say, be true and be you. All right, guys. So I'm going to play the intro. We'll dive into a quick hype video, which will be a couple minutes, and then we'll jump right into this. So,
let's do it.
All right, guys. So if you're watching, we are back with episode 95 in the 2022 Eagles season, another sports episode. So as I just stated, I see some people have actually kind of popped in since the intro. So guys, welcome to the podcast. As always,
Steve in the mix.
Yes, sir. And Rich too. Rich is
Rich, of course. Rich is right there. He'll see you the whole time.
All right, so I'm actually gonna play a little quick hype video. I'll share my screen on this one, and
go ahead,
you know, I just want to make the statement. I just want to make the statement: fair use. I don't own any rights to the music. I don't own any rights to the video. I'm just doing fair use to make the comment there. So just for copyright purposes. Okay. Right. So with that being said, I'm gonna share my screen. Just give me
some highlights and let's check out.
Let's check
Eagle season, man. It's about to start.
Share screen. Let me know when y'all guys can see us. Cool.
I see it now. Well, cool. There we go. Now it looks clear. Yep.
You understand me? Everybody else is taking their little marker, and they've already written the result of this game down.
They're not dogs. They're not. I hate to break it to you, they're not. The Eagles team is hungrier. They're smarter. They're survivors. The Eagles team, they're not dogs. They're wolves.
Pero también yo sé que esto que fondo. La diferencia tuya y mía es que yo nunca te llenaba mi combo. Cada día más caro, sigo siendo un descaro. Cada día más duro, cada día más caro. Cada día más caro, sigo siendo un descaro. Cada día más duro y tú cada día más caro. ¿Y cuánto me siento que sobre montaña? Así que la tengo procura y esa es la premura. Siga todo con calor, yo ya estoy en esa altura. Se llena muy rápido, por eso es que casi ni duran, casi ni duran. Quieres un pedazo de machina, cosa está dura. Tú llevas los años pegado, pero yo llevo 10 haciendo pintura.
We're ready to hunt again. And again, and again, and again, and again.
That's it.
It was a pretty fire opening, guys. I think to kind of kick this off, fire opening. So, guys, there you go. There's a little hype video. Like I said, I don't own the rights, but man, I thought it was pretty fire. So I'm like, let me add this into the episode today. So, guys, this I think is a little bit different from last year, right? You know, last year we really had no expectations really going into the season. We didn't really know where the Eagles kind of stood. It was kind of a whole new test because it was Jalen Hurts' first year. At this point, it's Hurts' second full year. He played some games a couple years ago, but he kind of took over with I think it was 6 or 7 games left. I want to know both of your guys' thoughts. Man, I'm excited for the season because I really think we have a really solid defense. And I think adding AJ Brown, the offense is going to be scary as well. All going to kind of depend on Jalen Hurts, but I do believe in the kid. I think this is going to be a good season. And looking at our competition in the NFC East, Rich and me and you were just talking about this before we went live. I think it's fairly certain that the Eagles are the talent of the NFC East this year. What is your thoughts on this?
Well, you know, not only was last season Hurts' first full season
Right.
as a starting quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles, but he also had Nick Sirianni's first season as a head coach as well.
Big deal there.
Like, it's a big deal, man. To see him get through that year after all the criticism from mainstream media about his, you know, how he runs his team and how he does his press conferences. Well, I mean, you know, press conferences are all fine and dandy, but look at Bill Belichick. I mean, he's one of the best coaches in the NFL. You know, I mean, he doesn't look like he does the best press conferences. So, I mean, big surprise here, press conferences and being an actual NFL coach. We always go hand in hand. So, my thoughts, listen, man. I mean, listen, Friday, August 12th was Eagles' first preseason game. Played the Jets. We lost 24-21, and that's all fine. It's preseason. We're trying out these players here and trying to see who is going to fit in the group long term here. So I was very encouraged by what I saw. I mean, 6 for 6, 80 yards and a touchdown from Jalen Hurts. He had a perfect drive there. And I mean, a lot of your sports analysts who are doubters will tell you, well, listen, hey, if he hadn't have took that late hit going out of bounds, that drive would have been over. Well, what I have to say to those analysts are, well, I mean, isn't it in the Eagles' personality to go for it on fourth down when it's a yard or 2 left? So I'm very confident that Sirianni would have went for it anyway. But besides that, let's take that away. And let's look at the actual stats that did stick and the actual things that do matter. 6 for 6, touchdown, and guess what? He got the touchdown the best way he can because remember they called that running back, right? That running touchdown, they call it right back. Okay, that's fine. And Danny, that like he said, that's not how we wanted to score anyway. So we went back and he stepped back and he threw it into the end zone to Dallas Goedert, who, I mean, he did get a little yak yards after catch there on that play, 2 or 3 to get into the end zone, but you get the big picture here. He threw it for a touchdown. at the end of the day. And that's what we want to see as Eagles fans. And I'm very encouraged by the offense. I'm very encouraged by our rookies, Kobe Dean, hailing out of Georgia, how he stuffed the run. So I was happy. I was very encouraged by the people who were actually going to start for the Eagles moving into the season. I was encouraged.
Great points, man. Great points. Yeah, I think that's the key that sticks, right? That's Jalen Hurts. Yeah, at the end of the day, what was the result? We lose the game, but I mean, let's be realistic.
21-24, but
Hurts played the one drive. You know what I mean, dude? We didn't play the starters. It's preseason. Like, at the end of the day, you can never.
It was clear it wasn't really a game that mattered,
No, so you take away from the film the parts that matter, which is the starters. But if you lose your starters, what are the odds of you winning a championship anyway? You know what I mean? So it's like,
right.
You don't put too much stock in a game, but that's actually a really good point, man. And yeah, no, they put the ball through the air, which I think is how you're going to want to score most of your touchdowns. You know what I mean? It's cool for Jalen Hurts to run, but obviously the risk factor that comes along with it is taking hits. If we can get him to throw the ball through the air with accuracy, that's ideally how you're going to want to score your points. So that's a great break. I'm encouraged, man, just looking at not just that first preseason game, from people that I'm hearing like on sports radio that actually have training camp, saying how phenomenal of a training camp the Philadelphia Eagles have had. One of the best training camps in years is what I'm hearing. And it's just a lot of good stuff. And when you actually look them on paper, this looks like a pretty lethal team. I will say I'm not a Howie Roseman fan. Anybody who's watched this has seen this, but I have to give my dues that he actually had a really incredible offseason this year. He really did. And yeah, I'm someone who will 100% give someone their props. I gotta say he had an incredible offseason. And the acquisition of AJ Brown, we got Jordan Davis through the draft. This looks like a good team. We may have the best secondary in the league as starters. Rich, we were talking about. The one thing that worries me is behind the secondary position if people get hurt. So we have Bradbury and we got Slay, but it's the depth behind it makes you worry a little bit. But up front, of course, we got Kyle. We got a lot of. This is going to be, I think, a really good team. Pending injuries, right? Knock on wood. Anybody who gets injured is
80 yards. He had Jalen Hurts at 80 yards for the stats for the last game. So like
6 for 6, 80 yards. Yeah, 6 for 6, 80 yards.
6 for 6. Yeah. So I mean, it's a good start. Jalen Hurts has grown a lot, and they're building.
Can't get much better. Can't get much better. 6 for 6, 80 yards. That's perfect.
I mean, for a starting game, for not even having most of his, the lineup he has usually, it was a good test. We lost to them, but we have Cleveland Browns. We have Cleveland coming up, but 2 more games, and then of course the official season. So,
and can I just add one thing that I've seen positively from Hurts? I've seen his throwing motion tightened up a little bit. If anyone's noticed how swiftly and how quickly his throwing motion is now, and he's tightened up on it. And people have been raving about that all offseason, that his throwing motion has improved. So I'm really encouraged by that as well.
If you got an arm, you got an arm, Rich. You know how they say back in the day, we got the arm, you can always tighten up. But no, you're right though. Like you're running the way, you say, you go this way, you fake it, then you just throw a nice spiral, or just it counts like a natural. Jalen Hurts, bro, is definitely reaching his prime. He's still young, I mean? He's a few years ago, these other guys were a few years ago, because we had a lot of quarterbacks,
Yeah, young. And you say young George, the youngest Eagles quarterback to make the NFL playoffs.
That's dope. I mean, excuse my voice. I'm kind of losing my voice, so I'm sorry, guys, if I sound a little off, but yeah. No, I agree with you, Rich. You said 100%, bro. He's young. He's hungry. He's on fire. He's hot. He's one of the hottest, quarterbacks. I mean, we have the Mahomes of the world and all that, but Hurts is definitely his way to become. He's been talked a lot, and he's out there, sort of like on the market in a sense that like people like him, but obviously he's locked in the Eagles. But we got to keep him, and he's got to stay healthy. That consistency and stay healthy, and having a team that helps them. But from what I saw, it's a good work. They're doing good work. It seems like they're the Eagles training camps. I mean, Steve said it. I've been hearing things too. It looks like they're some of the best training camps in years. That's just the word in the street. I mean, I don't know about everything else, but it seems pretty accurate and based on what we saw.
Yeah. So I just wanted to comment, Joe. So and Rich, I know Rich is your boy. So Lewis commented. He said, "What did you guys think of seeing Jordan Davis getting triple teamed by the Jets?" That's actually a phenomenal point. I actually saw that today. I saw the picture. They said I was surprised on social media. And I saw, man, that's pretty impressive, man. For first guy, he's literally just got drafted and he's already being triple teamed.
He's that good.
He's a big dude. He's a big dude. He's powerful, man.
I think the Eagles got the right mentality and the chemistry. It's like they're, the demand is always there. Unfortunately, sometimes in Philly, we tend to just think too ahead, and the fans always jump to conclusions, which is, I guess, everywhere in the world. But we'll just see, man. I mean, we go to playoffs, we go far, man. As this team can go, all the way. They're still a growing team. Even next year, they'll be growing. But last year to this year, like Rich just said a few minutes earlier, I see a difference. I'm seeing, Hurts these game up. These guys are born winners.
Yeah, you see the growth, you can see the difference between this year and last year. And what going to Lewis's point about Jordan Davis here now, let's remember, guys, that Fletcher Cox is usually double teamed every game. Now, what are you going to do when Jordan Davis and Fletcher Cox are on both on the field at the same time? You can't get them all. You can't get them both. So someone's going to, because of the pressure from this new rookie we have straight out of Georgia, I mean, someone's going to have a little bit more leeway. It's kind of like on the offense when you see that the acquisition of AJ Brown, that's going to free up some space for DeMonte.
AJ Brown. I was looking at the trades we had with the Seahawks. We'll get into it in a second, some of the trades, because we'll definitely cover the restructure of the Eagles. Now we're just kind of talking about the game we saw and the schedule. We'll talk about if you guys want to get into like the draft and pre-draft.
Yeah,
might not want to give up that, Rich, but we definitely get into that.
But you're right, man. It's between Cox and Davis, bro. Somebody's gonna eat. You know what I mean? Somebody's gonna get the double on one end and the other ball on the other end. So somebody's gonna eat. Somebody's gonna eat. Either way. And no, you're right. Same thing with Devontae Smith on the offensive side. And then you got AJ Brown now, the acquisition, and then people don't forget Dallas Goedert, and then Miles Sanders. I think is due for a breakout year.
Clark, offensive lineman, the linebackers.
We got some guys, man. And then I just think having Miles Sanders and then also the run threat of Jalen Hurts, man. This team, pending injuries could be absolutely.
We have Sean Bradley. That's right.
I don't really like. Yeah, we are, dude. And
I like this team.
Stacked in the NFC East, guys. Let me ask you guys a question: who's more offensively stacked than we are right now in the NFC East?
Nobody. It's this point I'm going to answer right now. Nobody.
Very good point. I mean, I don't know if the top, Rich. I have to do some research on that, but honestly, I would think we're one of the top stacked teams because our roster looks good, dude. This is the first time, it's the top roster in many years, you know what I mean? And it's, again, with the right coaching, from Sirianni, I think, we're getting there, man. We're getting there. Let's get some good games, If we win both of our fucking preseason games, I think for the season a little bit.
I think also you got to look at the strength of schedule, too. The NFC East in general does not have a very strong strength of schedule, which actually bodes well. I don't like to judge teams before the season starts usually, but if you go by, like, past experience and the acquisitions that these teams have made over the offseason, the strength of schedule is not super strong. We'll actually break down. I'll share my screen. We can kind of go through the games and shit and just, what we kind of think our thoughts are. But, the strength of schedule is not super strong, but it's like that for the entire NFC East, right? Usually play about the same opponents. But if you realistically look at the NFC East, we were just talking, Rich, look at the Cowboys. The Cowboys right now, they lost Amari Cooper. You lost Gallup for the entire year due to injury. So you have Cooper. He was moved. He doesn't play for them anymore. And then you got Gallup with the injury. It's another year that you're taking a toll on Ezekiel Elliott. So on top of that, he's just getting older, and a running back shelf life isn't that long in the NFL. And then on top of it is like their number 2 right now, which is their number 1 is CeeDee Lamb. God forbid anything happens to CeeDee Lamb. That team is in serious trouble, and they lost Randy Gregory too.
Williams, Marvin Wilson
on the defensive side.
Hargrave.
Yeah, but
we're definitely kind of a spec team, man. A lot of guys seem to be a little bit on the younger side too. Like we're kind of definitely a young team. In the East and the NFC East, we're probably up there. I would say we have a tight squad, guys. Consider that we have so many like guys that were playing that we're kind of like you might call them rookies, but we just don't call them like reserves and all that, or second team, and they do well. Despite, again, it was a close, close game. It was 21-24 for a preseason game, which didn't even matter that much. There was a good test. We got to build a confidence with guys. These guys are playing because some guys won't make it throughout the whole year. Some can just kind of carry on. There's gonna be injuries. It's kind of given in football. It's a tough sport. So,
and I don't mean to backtrack, but Ezekiel Elliott is getting old. The running back's lifespan in the NFL is short, and we've already seen, we've already seen him digress a little bit. Like we already seen him I mean, like they and Lewis did I just see that comment right there. Now Lewis is right. The Cowboys do have Michael Gallup. He is a threat. He is a threat. But we're like run game wise and what the weapons we're comparing the weapons from this year coming up versus last year, because last year you had Michael Gallup, had CeeDee Lamb,
Michael Gallup was pretty good last year,
and we had Ezekiel Elliott a year younger. And you can kind of see Ezekiel Elliott's drop off a little bit compared to the previous years. Now this year he's coming to another year where it's just another year where running back, because the lifespan is what can we say, guys? 4 or 5 years for NFL?
4 years, I would say.
4 or 5 years, absolutely.
Running back is tougher.
But we're not trying to say, Lewis, that Cowboys aren't a threat. That's not what we're trying to say at all. Cowboys.
We're not comparing them at all.
Very much. We still don't get it twisted. We still got to dethrone the Cowboys because they've had our number for a couple of years now. But what we're saying is the Cowboys compared this year compared to last year, the Cowboys are not as scary. They are not. They're not. It's not the same.
One thing I want to make a comment on the Michael Gallup portion. So he had that torn ACL last year. He's actually going to miss week 1. So Michael Gallup, the reports are he'll probably be back at some point in the season, but he just tore his ACL. He just recovered from it. Michael Gallup, he goes off of speed. So how fast is Michael Gallup really going to be with that recovering from that injury? You know what I mean? It's kind of at this point, it's just it's up in the air. So Michael Gallup is obviously a great receiver for them, but you don't know where he's going to be when he comes back. And then Lewis also commented, you guys believe Tony Pollard could be a threat? I think he could. I think at this point he's going to kind of have to be. Because Ezekiel, he said his shelf life at this point. What's his Zeke's 7th year in the league? Yeah. It's got to be something like that. Let me see. I'm actually kind of curious myself, and I just get it right. Elliott.
And Tony Pollard is a threat in the pass game as well, not just the run game. Tony Pollard is a threat, most definitely. Tony Pollard.
Don't forget we had Deion King too.
He was an annoyance to the Eagles for the past couple of years. He's a part of the reason because, like I said, we've seen that digression of Ezekiel Elliott where he hasn't been playing as well. So what they've done, they kind of rotated him and Tony Pollard. And they've kind of mixed in the run and the pass when it comes to Tony Pollard. But the thing about that is, now it's just another year where you have less weapons, and if you look at it, we're already
regrouped. They got weaker if you think about it. But if we're talking about Dallas,
and we're used to a harder Dallas with more weapons. The Eagles that's what we prepare ourselves to beat. Prepare ourselves to go up against is Dallas. Let's be real.
So much chime in on that. I think Richard's right, bro. I mean, is that the best Dallas? And honestly, if you're going to ask who's going to win, I think Richard could beat them this year easily. But, I mean, not easily, but it's going to be a good game. But here's the thing. They could definitely also beat us because I noticed that, notice that this is also happens to the Eagles. Years that we do really well, but we lose on our big games. We beat Dallas. It just happens to be that game. But then there's times where we feel like we're superior, and then somehow they beat us. There's still the win. Wow. There's some kind of fumble, some kind of like missed opportunity.
Division games are always tough. They're always tough.
Division games go both ways. But generally speaking, we're better than Dallas this year. Should we focus only on Dallas? Absolutely not. Are they a threat? Yes. Are they still a top team, top baller on the block? They always kind of have been. Yeah. But like you said, Ezekiel Elliott, getting a little, older. He's not old, but he's been in the league for a little while.
Year 7.
We have some younger guys. We'll do well. It comes down to guys who are a little older than our guys a little younger, but it's like they might be a little more experienced. We have guys that are just phenomenal athletes in great condition, and I mean they're working hard, man. So it all depends how these games look and how our head coach, kind of putting the right team and kind of be able to adjust, if that's a key word, and sort of like improvise a little bit. Football is just like like soccer and basketball. You got to put like the best players. Sometimes some guys play with other guys better. Sometimes the guy has an off game. He has a hard hand. He can't run as much. Your knees are done. You're going to bench, buddy. It happens to the best of us and the best of them. Let's just not get a twist. Everybody gets hurt. Everybody misses a game. But let's not jinx them in. Let's just see the first 2 games. We do got the Lions of the first game to get to the schedule. So, I mean, we can realistically beat them, but who knows? Stranger things have happened.
Lions are trash, man.
That's another thing you mentioned, George, the strength of schedule. I mean our
schedule
is way better than the Cowboys' schedule as far as winning that NFC East. It's not just about can we beat Dallas, but what did our schedules look like? I mean, who are we playing, guys? Can we go over that now? Is that, I know you have that on the menu there.
Yeah, it's on the menu on the table contest. We definitely get, so far we did good on time. We covered some good points. I know Steve had a lot of good stuff to say. You can get into the schedule if you guys want to, and also talk about some of the players that we had, like some of the new guys.
Zoom in a little bit here.
Yeah, go ahead.
We'll bring up the
got
schedule.
That's the last game of the preseason. So Miami Dolphins.
And then if we go over here, we got the Lions. So this is the first game of the season. You're going to be, so basically, guys, if you're following along, it's obviously you can see the date. Bang, bang. It goes like down. So we're starting on week 1 on September 11th, which is literally just a few short weeks away. We'll be pulling that up. So we break down the strength of schedule. I mean, we'll go through each game, but let's do the eye test real quick, right? Let's scroll through and let's just do the eye test. The Lions.
Are we gonna do a WL thing? Like what? Like are we going through game by game and hitting the win loss? Or
we can 100% do that. But real quick, I'm just gonna do a quick eye test. Why don't we just scroll through and then we'll go back and we'll break down what we think. So Lions, kind of trash. Vikings, average. You got the Commanders. That could be interesting because it's Wentz is trying to make a comeback here. And
Cowboys see. Fourth game of the season are Cowboys or third? Like actual season Cowboys. It's pretty early. We got them early this year.
Jaguars and another trash team. Cardinals could be interesting for sure. Cardinals, and that's in Arizona. That'd be a tough one. You got the Cowboys course game, always tough. We're at home. You got the Steelers. No Ben Roethlisberger. Remember that he retired.
They don't have a quarterback, man.
Nah, they don't. They don't have a solid quarterback. No Deshaun Watson going. And then on top we got the Commanders again. Indy could be interesting. I mean, it's just again no Wentz, and I don't know what
Matt Ryan.
Be interesting. I mean, there's no Devontae Adams, but it's Aaron Rodgers. Good thing is that's in Philly, and it's in November, so that's a good thing.
Hold on.
Titans could be interesting.
The Titans.
All my Giants fans out there.
Hold on.
Trash.
Definitely some trash teams. I mean, we got to be honest. We have some easier games than others.
I bet you it's no Giants fans. It's crickets because it's no Giant. They know it too. They're not going to say nothing to you.
Nah, then you got the Bears,
Cardinals, Cowboys.
I mean, the only thing is that's December 18th. That's going to be cold as hell. Probably Chicago. Then you have Dallas again, division game. The Saints could be interesting again. We've been playing the Saints pretty well the last couple of years, and then the Giants. Not a super tough schedule. Playing at the eye test, I think you guys can agree. It does not look at the eye test.
We started the year with the Saints, January 1st, 2023, the first day of January, the first day of the year. Okay, the Saints. I mean,
Matt Garcia.
Matt Garcia. Come on, man. That's amazing, but
I like the optimism.
I don't think it's gonna happen, but we'll lose one game. We'll probably lose.
I like that energy. I like that optimism.
I like the confidence. Truth be told, some of these games we're gonna let it slip by, but we're gonna have a good record. Like we could go like easily like 12-5 or something like that,
Matt Garcia is 17-0 and Eagles win the Super Bowl. What's up? Give me a yes or a no.
If you're going with the Super Bowl, that'll be historic.
Nobody's gone 17-0 since what was it? The Patriots. And they didn't win it.
And they didn't win it. You're right. Yeah.
It's challenging, man. That's a feat that's almost impossible, but I don't know. All right, so let's break it down. So let's see. Right, you got the Eagles and the Lions week 1. I mean, even though it's in Detroit, what do y'all think? It's a W, right? It's a W. I'd be shocked if they lost that game. Eagles versus the Vikings.
24-7, bro. We're gonna beat the Lions 24-7.
We're at home right now, though.
Now I'm gonna try to be as realistic as I can too for some of these.
We're not gonna just talk. It would actually be
this works out.
Understanding how the games could possibly go. So
this works out. We're playing Detroit in Detroit, right? It would be if we were playing Detroit at home and then the Vikings on the road, because I think that the Vikings have a legitimate home field advantage. We're playing them in Philly.
Bad, but
so guys, just to note, just Eagles are on the bottom, it means they're home. If the Eagles are on the top, it means it's a road game. So if we're looking here, this game is in Philly. I think we're gonna beat Kirk Cousins, and they're gonna come in here. I think we're gonna beat that team. That game will probably be maybe a little bit close, but I think we'll handle business. What's that? Already a Sunday night game, or is it a Thursday night game?
Jaguars, Cardinals. What about
that's a Monday night game?
Yeah, I think so. Because look, it's 8 days. It's 8 days later. That's a Monday night game. So they got Monday night. They got Monday Night Football 2 games into the season. So we're playing the Vikings on Monday Night Football in Philly. That's going to be the opener. We're going to be in Philly. I think that we're going to handle business. We're going to win that game. So 2-0. We go down to Washington, which is field advantage for us because the Redskins fans at FedEx. It's usually it's a quick trip down 95. Like it's usually a pretty home field advantage for the Eagles. This one could be interesting because it is a division game. Carson Wentz coming back. Oh, Mario's actually here. I'm gonna welcome Marius in real quick.
There he is.
Marius.
Let me take that comment off. See.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. Marius, what's up, brother?
Yeah, what's up, boys? How are y'all, man?
You made
Doing well, man. Doing well, man. Welcome in.
Yeah, and how's everybody doing?
Good, man. Good. How you doing, bro?
It's good. I got my pumpkin coffee. I got my Birds jersey, and I'm ready for Eagles football, man. Let's get it.
Let's get it, bro. Got my coffee too, man. Let's go. Right now, man, we kind of give our thoughts on the season. Right now, we're just breaking down the schedule a little bit, man. So feel free to chime in where you want. We're in week 3 right now, man. We're just looking at the matchup against Washington.
Schedule, but a good schedule.
I think this could be an interesting one only because it's like Carson Wentz. I still think we're going to go down there. We're going to handle the business. I really do.
I was about to say, Steph, I think we're going to play even harder. Just the fact that, what Wentz in the middle of the season there, they were saying, the reports were coming out and they were saying players were starting to think that Wentz was quitting on the team mid-season. So I know some players may have a little bitter taste in their mouth when seeing Wentz, and I think they might want to get a nice hit on that.
I think so too, man. I think we're gonna win, man. So I got them to start the season, even on a realistic level, 3-0. I got them 3-0 to start, and then we got another.
That's what I'm saying. Strength of schedule.
Another trash schedule, man. I mean, because of the Jaguars, man. They were arguably the worst team in the NFL last year. It's gonna be year 2 for Trevor Lawrence. It's in Philly. I gotta say that's a win. It's like the Lions, man. It's like the eye test tells you, dude. I think that's a win. I'd be super shocked if they lose it. I don't know what you guys' thoughts are, but I'm thinking 4-0 to start. I think the one game that could give us a little trouble is maybe Washington, only because it's a division game. But I think the Eagles are going to play hard. Thanks.
Definitely.
So I'm thinking our first big test comes week 5. It's going to be week 5 is going to be our first big test because we got to play Arizona in Arizona. And that's going to be, I think, a tough game. It's just a tough place to play for the Eagles. I feel usually every year. Anytime we play them. I guess on a realistic level, maybe I'll chalk that up as an L. First loss of the year. I'm thinking 4-1 to start.
Yeah, I can see that 4-1. Definitely, if it starts 3-0, give us a lot of confidence. But we got some easy teams early on, man. The schedule really works to our advantage this year. But
I'm gonna say if they win the first 5 and they beat the Cardinals, this team is gonna be really that's gonna be a real test. At that point we'll be really scary. If we start 5-0, this team, that'll be a huge test.
Right. We're dealing with Kyler Murray. He's a scrambling quarterback. Eagles typically don't do the best. Look at our matchups with Russell Wilson. You know what I mean? We haven't fared well against quarterbacks that can go on the run here. So I'm gonna go with you on this one. I'm gonna say an L for the Cardinals one, just because I haven't seen our defense, especially Gannon. He lays off of elite quarterbacks and quarterbacks that are trending towards elite. He kind of lays off and doesn't put the pressure on. So until I see Gannon kind of put more pressure on higher tier quarterbacks, I would say an L for this game too.
Yo, one thing to note, I completely forgot about. I actually just Googled it on the fly real quick. DeAndre Hopkins is suspended the first 6 games of the season due to PEDs. So he's not going to be there week 5. They're not going to have DeAndre Hopkins. So that thing, that could 100%.
That's a game changer. I'm glad you mentioned that.
That could change the precedent. Oh, man. Yeah, I forgot about that, man. He got suspended, man. He's suspended till week 7. So we're playing them week 5. This could shift in our favor. I'm gonna say because it's in Arizona and I don't want to be like the goggles on and stuff, I'm gonna say likely could be an L, but I think this one could go either way because they're missing D-Hop. I think the Eagles could win this game as well. So it's a either way for me. It's tough. What do you guys think out there? I think this one could be it's up in the air for me because I could definitely see the Eagles winning this game. No DeAndre Hopkins. I don't know.
Could be one, yeah.
But Rich, you're absolutely right. We usually don't fare too well against scrambling quarterbacks. It's up in the air for me.
Sometimes we complicate our own schedule. We fuck up our own flow.
It could be 4-1.
As we truck in the past.
So maybe I'll come back to that one, but that's interesting.
5-0. That'll be cool. Maybe 4-1 or 5-0, either or. I think that's how it will start a season like that.
Then we got Dallas. I'm gonna have to guess. This is probably Sunday Night Football, not Monday. I guarantee this is a Sunday Night Football game.
Cowboys
this is Sunday night. You can see the time 8:20. Dallas is coming in here. I think again it'll be close because it's a division game, but at the end of the day, I think the Eagles are going to prevail. Man, I just don't think Dallas has this year. Marius, we were actually talking, Mario. We were saying, their number 2 receiver, depending on Gallup's injury when he comes back, because he had a torn ACL, he's not playing week 1. Dalton Schultz is their number 2 receiver right now. Randy Gregory's hurt. You figure they got rid of Amari Cooper. Ezekiel Elliott's coming in. You have Tony Pollard backing him.
Tony Pollard, yeah.
Dallas just doesn't look like what they were. That Amari Cooper move was big, and Zeke's just getting older. I think we're going to beat Dallas. I'm going to say that's going to be a win. So I'm going to have them at 5-1 going to this point. I know some.
This game is going to be 27-24. It's going to be a close game, but we want to beat them. We're going to edge them. We'll see, though. Yeah. Hey, wait, hold on now. Where is the game? He's in Dallas, though? It is in Dallas?
No, it's in Philly. It's a Sunday Night Football game in
Philly. I got the Eagles on that one, man. Well, I think we'll beat them here in Philly.
Yeah, 5-1, right. So I have so far to start the season. Then we play the Steelers. What we were talking about, no Ben Roethlisberger. He's just they really don't really know their quarterback situation right now. This game's in Philly. I said the Eagles are going to handle this. I think they're going to win this game. It's in Philly. So again, man, I got another.
We got Cardinals, Cowboys, Steelers, and Houston.
Overall, we always fare pretty well against the Steelers overall.
I agree.
Even our win-loss overall in NFL history versus Steelers in general has always been we're on top there. I don't know if you have the screen in front of you, Steph, if you could look at the overall win losses between Steelers and Eagles definitely have the advantage there. I think we split with the Cowboys. Not to backtrack, guys, but I just think we split. I think I usually what I do, and this is kind of what I do every season, is I give them a win. Give us a win at home, give them a win at home. Because even with last year, I know we lost both games versus the Cowboys last year, but the second game, we weren't even trying to win that game.
Yep.
So we had rest starters that game. I think that's an important statement there that needs to be made about, because I hear all the analysts on ESPN and NFL Network talking about, well, Cowboys handled the Eagles twice last year, but the thing is, though, we rested our starters the second game. We had already made the wild card.
Yeah, at that point. And I actually pulled up that statistic going back to the Steelers one. So they played 80 times. They have 3 ties. The Eagles have won 48 times. The Steelers have won 29. So it's almost unanimous. They've won. The Eagles have won substantially, like about 20 more games than the Steelers. So the overall record for the Eagles is 48, 29, and 3. With that, so they played 80 times. The Eagles have won nearly 50 games. So yeah, you're right. You're actually right on that. So the Eagles handled that rivalry. So even going back when the Steelers were really good back in the day, the Eagles handled business. Move to the next one, the Texans. This is in. This is probably a third. Yeah, this looks like it's a Thursday night game. This is in Houston. Deshaun Watson. Yeah. Houston's not really a great team. I'm gonna be honest. Like it's another one. I feel like the Eagles will. I don't know. Like I'm gonna keep picking wins, but I feel like there will be a game where they might.
It's a Sunday game, Steve. It's a Sunday game, but yeah, it's in Houston.
Sunday. That's a Sunday game. Is it
October 30th? Right?
No. November 3rd. November 3rd is a Sunday.
Sorry, it is. It's a Thursday.
I'm just looking at the dates. So yeah, I'm looking. So it's a The third off the schedule, I'm gonna say the Eagles are gonna win. I don't know, man.
I can't see the Texans beating us. I mean,
I can't go against it. I mean, I can't be mad at that. Very possible.
And I think I actually think Texans are going to be one of the front runners for one of the top quarterbacks in the next up and coming draft, because they don't have. I just don't see them winning a lot of games this year. They don't seem like a franchise. You know, having to deal with the Deshaun Watson stuff and having to deal with like so many distractions media wise, I can't really see them as a franchise that's very focused on a championship at this point. I think they're just trying to rebuild right now.
I agree with that. I'm gonna have to agree with you there. So I'm gonna chalk it up as another week. So we do need to be mindful of that. It is a short week, but I'm gonna say they're gonna win it. I'm gonna go 7-1 at this point to start the year. And then we got Washington again. We got a lot of days rest coming into this one. Playing Washington, and it's in Philly at this time. And it's hard. I feel like there's L's along the way here, but
we're definitely gonna lose a game or two. That's come on, we know that.
I don't know.
It'll be nice to 17-0, but we're probably gonna
say
be
the Eagles. I hate to say it, man, but I think the Eagles are gonna win this one too. I don't know, man. It's a long week rest. At that point,
you're big teams like the
be home. You're gonna come home.
I think Wentz might get one on us. I think I'll split that too. I just think that division games are hard, man. Like I
agree.
I think when he comes to Philly, I think there's going to be a lot of nerves from him going to having to face the Eagles fans after his run in Philly and how things ended. I think he's going to be nervous, man. I think he's going to choke when he comes in Philly. But I think when we go into his house in Washington, if he's not hurt by then, because we know Wentz's injury history is not that
prone.
He's still even, there at that point in the season. I mean, I can see Wentz getting one over on us out in Washington. Okay. With Terry McLaurin, he has one of the top. I mean, he's a top wide receiver, man.
So you're gonna say 7-2, probably this 4 through 9.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? I'll give you that 7-2. All right. Yeah, because I will lose, one of these games. I don't know. Along the way, feels too good to be true.
We could, yeah.
Yeah. Then we got the Colts. The following week. Again, this team, this team could be anything. I don't really know what their quarterback situation is right now.
Matt Ryan.
The Colts are a team, but
they do have a really good running back.
A very good running back, and they do have a pretty solid defense. That could be a tough game.
Yeah, they got Jonathan Taylor, man, and he played well last year. He basically carried that offense.
Yeah, it was back in the league last year. Could be a challenging game. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say they're gonna lose one of these next two. I'm gonna say they're gonna lose one of these ones against either the Packers. The Packers, the one thing that's favorable because it would be in November in Lambeau, but it's not. It's in Philly.
It's in Philly. Wow.
It is Aaron Rodgers, but they remember there's no Devontae Adams anymore. You know what? I'll give them the L to the Colts because I think it'll be challenging going in there. Indies can be tough to play, but also, they do have a good team. I feel like that might be a game we lose starting 7-3 in the season because I'll give you that second loss to Washington. And then I think Green Bay comes here and we win. We usually fare pretty well against Green Bay. Another one in the last few years.
3 years ago.
Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, we fare pretty well against Green Bay.
We beat them in their home field like 3 years ago.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say, you guys agree with that? What do you guys think about on the Colts game and then on the Packers game?
Yeah, I'm with you, Steve. I got them losing to the Colts because Indianapolis is tough to beat at home, but I got them to beat Green Bay though because we're gonna be home and since Green Bay doesn't have Devontae Adams anymore, man, Aaron Rodgers is going to have to rely on these other receivers, and I don't know if they're going to be able to come through for him. So I got us losing to the Colts, but us winning against the Packers.
I think something beating the Colts, probably going to get lucky against Green Bay and beat them. We're going to get very lucky against Green Bay, but we'll beat them.
So let me get this straight. Everyone here thinks we're going to lose to the Colts.
I think somehow we're going to lose the Colts.
I do because I think it'll be one of those games where it's a trap game. You got to go up to in, and also that team can be underratedly good. I don't really know the quarterback situation, but the running back and the defense, it could be a decent. They can be a really good team. They do have a really very good defense.
is challenging. That's my thoughts. Yeah, I think they lose to the Colts and they beat Green Bay.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna play devil's advocate here.
Let's hear it. Come on.
I think we'll beat the Colts. I think Matt Ryan's gonna be starting. I think Nakobe Dean, and I think sorry, what's that linebacker's name off of we just got him from the Chargers. Kazir White. Nakobe Dean, Kazir White. I think those boys, I think they're going to stuff the run against the Colts. I really think that's where Nakobe Dean is probably going to earn his defensive rookie of the year, because I think that's who's going to get defensive rookie of the year. And on top of that, I think for Packers, I think if Aaron Rodgers doesn't if Aaron Rodgers doesn't get his wide receiver situation straight, I think we have a chance of beating the Packers, a really good chance. But I think if he does get the wide receivers situation straight, because I don't know if you guys have been hearing, there's been reports coming out of Aaron Rodgers complaining about his wide receivers, and he's saying his wide receivers aren't running good routes. They're not
helping him enough. Yeah, I heard about those reports too. I heard something on the Sports Center.
So if he gets that straight, man, I still think Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. I think he can still pick apart a defense, especially one as lenient as Jonathan Gannon. I still think Jonathan Gannon has to prove himself as a defensive coordinator here. And I think that as far as the defense goes, I just think that if Aaron Rodgers gets his wide receiver situation straight, man, I don't think it's nothing that's stopping Aaron Rodgers.
Make a good point there, bro. I think if he's got a situation set up, or the wide receivers, they're helping him out, helping the pathway, man. He's got options to throw the ball. He's still in his prime. He's still a great guy, great quarterback. He's getting older and all that, but he still has. This is, it's almost do or die for him. He's walking on, on eggshells. He's getting older. The pressure's getting up there. So if we lose to them, it's gonna be one of those. I agree with you though. I feel like we probably, because he won't have the situation like ready just yet, and I think we'll take advantage of it. But then again, it's pretty. It's like the 7th or 8th game or something like that. It's not like the first few games. So it depends. The Colts, I think, will lose to them only because we always have a tendency of we'll do well and lose to a team that we probably should beat. And the Colts are not bad. So I think they might get kind of lucky with us and we might throw away. But everybody else so far on the list, I think we beat them and we look good beating them, to be honest. That's what set the tone for the season. If we can win and win convincingly with these new guys and build confidence, we just can't get carried away, man. Because every time we get carried away, either our quarterback gets hurt or we fuck up, or somehow the locker room and the players with the coach and fans get involved, and it gets ugly, So we don't want none of that weird energy. We want the Eagles to do well this year and start taking 1 week at a time. But not to jinx it, knock on wood, like Rich was saying, and Mary's same thing and Steve. We looks like the schedule does favor us. So sometimes schedules, playing home games.
Yeah.
So I got.
Yeah, I see the comments too. I see love in the comments. I got some people in the comments section.
Yeah, I see that.
There. So we'll see.
That's actually my boy Todd. Yeah. He said I'm with Rich. We will beat the Colts. I just checked it out on the Facebook page.
Todd Garner. Todd.
He agrees with you. Yeah. It do very well could. Yeah, like I said, that's another game that could go, either way. I'm just gonna stick that I think that it could be a trap game where they lose that game on the road. But I can see them winning too. You know what I mean? It could go either way. So that takes us 11 games in. It leaves us with 6 left. At this point, we got the Giants still twice because we haven't played them yet. We got the Cowboys once, and then we got a couple non-division games here. As you can see, we got the Titans, the Bears,
a couple of them.
Saints.
The Commanders.
Next one's Tennessee. And who do we got?
Come on, man. They don't even have AJ Brown anymore. Come on.
AJ Brown.
Yeah. The Titans don't. But who's their quarterback out there again? That's what's his name?
I can't think of his name.
Tannehill, right? They got Tannehill.
They still
got Tannehill and they got Derrick Henry running back.
Derrick Henry. Don't forget they got Derrick Henry.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's over defenses, man. I don't care how good your defensive line is, man. You see that truck coming by.
He's
bro.
a monster, dude. Bro, he's huge. I don't know, man. This is another game. It's in Philly, but that's gonna be That's going to be a toss-up. That could be a win or a loss. The only reason I'm even going to say it could possibly be a win is because it is in Philly, but I think the Titans are actually a decent team.
That's going to have some heat, man. No, because you remember the reports this summer of A.J. Brown receiving death threats from Tennessee Titans fans. I don't know.
Oh, my God, really?
He's going to be out there in Philly, man. He might want to show some people up there.
You want to choose your words carefully, Philly.
Yeah,
We'll see,
dude.
man.
So what do you guys think? Winner?
Well, I feel like it's safe to say we'll beat the Titans and the Giants. We'll get the Giants in a second, but I mean the Titans,
the Giants. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Stop
Seriously.
playing games.
I don't know
Let's
just New
stop
York,
playing
but come on
games.
now.
Let's stop playing games. Yo, stop playing with me, man. Stop
Daniel
playing, bro.
Jones, man. Come on.
Well, come on now. Well, time out. But look who got under the Giants. I mean, the Bears. Come on, guys. Like,
But somebody
I'm
put an
just- I
angry
don't feel
emoji
bad.
on our stream, bro. It's probably someone who's a Giants fan. I can't see it till after the stream, but one of them, unless it was
Let's look it up.
accidental. Yeah, probably.
So wait.
The
So
Giants.
now, hang on a second. Now, so the Giants game. That's a home game or that's an away game? It's in New York. That's home, right? Because it's on top.
But remember, George, we play division opponents twice a year. So we got an away game and then we got a home game down the bottom. So if you see the Eagles on the bottom, the Eagles are home. If their Eagles are on the top, they're away. So we're on the road here.
Correct.
Game, yeah.
I mean, even though we're in the road, dude, in New York, it's not. We've beaten them in the last few years. We played. We always done better than the Giants. Have been the same in years. They know it. It should be not lopsided, but it should be a pretty. I guess the first 3 quarters competitive. The Eagles should get the job done. I feel like and Jalen Hurts is on fire. We have the the wide receivers and all that. We should be able to kind of play with them a little, catch them a little off guard. Our guys most of our guys are faster guys anyway, but they got some decent players. But the Giants haven't showed up in years, so I mean that's not one of the games that we're going to be like, oh my god, this is the more important game. That's the game there. Well, probably by then, we could be easily 8-1, 8-0, whatever. Or no, sorry, 9. So I mean, we'll see.
We're 11 games in at that point.
Yeah, a lot of games in at that
12
point.
games.
So I mean, who knows how, we're all fair. But I can see us putting the second guys. Like taking like a big break. Not
I'm gonna say we win both of these.
I love New York.
I'm gonna say
I do love New York.
I'm gonna say we
Titans in New York. Okay. Because
Yeah,
Titans is a home game. I mean, Titans is a hard team. You're right. I mean, Maris is right. They got Derrick Henry. He's going to be a hard team to stop.
This one's going to come down to late in the fourth, bro. I think.
Yeah, that's going to be a good game.
That is, man, a good way to open up December there. And then the Giants. I think the Giants it could still be close because it's division, bro. We always know how it is, man. But the Eagles' record, man, they usually fare pretty well against the Giants. I just don't see the Giants really having much to beat us with. So I'm actually gonna go. They win both of these, bro, in this season, 10-3, with a solid 4 games left in the schedule. Where it gets interesting. We got the Bears. Another team that's really not that good, but Dallas. This one will be tough. I'll come back to the Bears. I'll go to the Dallas one here on the road. I'm gonna say they'll lose that game because usually, even though we're better than Dallas, there's always tough. And this is a Christmas Eve game, guys. This is a Christmas Eve game at 4:00, 4:25 on Christmas Eve. We're looking at.
Is that in Jerry World? Is that in Jerry World?
It's Jerry World. So I'm gonna say the Eagles will lose this one. So we have a split. So that's so we have them 4-2 this year. Well, hold up. We didn't get to the Giants on the last one yet, but I think we all know which way we're probably going to side here. But so far we got them 3-2 on the division. Then we say they split with the Cowboys, they split with the Redskins, and then they win that game against New York. We'll come back to these last two. Let's go to the final game of the season against the Giants. Anybody think we're losing that game? The only way I see it is if we're resting our starters.
It depends on what we have to play for, because it might be a situation like last year where we played the Cowboys and we didn't start anything. So if that's the case, we might lose that game. So it really
I'm gonna say if we let's just go on the precedent that we're playing our starters. I'm gonna say they're gonna win that game.
Yeah, maybe we might beat them with our 4 stringers. You never know.
Very well could, dude. I don't even know. Let's say they're gonna win that, and I'm gonna pick them 4-2 in the division this year. At that point, if we get a loss here, if we get a loss here and a win here, what do we have them up here? 10-3, 11-4 with these last two. So we got the Bears and the Saints. Anybody think we're losing to the Bears, even though it's in Chicago in December?
Nah, I don't think so.
Nah.
To be honest.
No.
The Bears are cool, but I mean, they're not going to do much against us. They're worse than the Giants.
I agree with that. So I'm going to say 12-4 through 16 games with this last
game. We'll beat the Bears. By the third quarter, we'll be like ahead of them. I feel like, the Bears will be like a nice little test to run.
Yeah, this is a New Year's Day game. Yeah, New Year's Day game against the Saints, man. This is a New Year's Day game at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
But remember, it's in Philly, and the Eagles have fared pretty well the last few years. This one could be interesting because what's their quarterback situation? They got Jameis Winston, right? And they got,
Yes.
What's that other guy's name too? The guy that's a running quarterback that they got too. I forget. Yeah, Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill, yeah.
I don't know, man. It's in Philly. If it was in the Dome, I'd probably say an L. If you had to go down, man, because I feel like you're gonna lose games here and there. But
yeah, well, remember Sean Payton's not their coach anymore. He retired, or he took a sabbatical. So I don't know who's their coach. I don't know who the new coach is, but
it's actually a very good point, man. I totally forgot about that. Great point. I'm gonna say we're gonna win, man. I'm gonna say we're gonna win. What y'all think?
Yeah, I think we're gonna beat the Saints, bro. But I don't know, man. That Bears game looks like a trap. I think we're gonna lose that one.
Okay, I mean it could be a trap. I don't know though.
Chicago, you never know, man. Anything can happen.
True, but I'm gonna say yeah because it's a tough place. But so how about we say that 13-4 with a potential trap game in the Bears that could put us at 12-5. That is a pretty damn good, if you ask me.
Yeah, I think if we end up 12-5, I think that's enough to win the division. I'm assuming.
Oh, 100%. I think it's 100% enough to win the division because, like I said, I think Dallas took a step back. Washington, you don't really know what they're going to do with Wentz there, and the Giants are. Well, let's be realistic. The Giants are the Giants.
Listen, no one's going to take the Giants. It's not against the franchise. Overall, New York is a good franchise.
Yeah, they are.
No one's going to take you seriously until you get rid of Daniel Jones.
Exactly.
No one's going to take you seriously until you get rid of that quarterback. He's holding them back. Everyone knows it. There's always a question: is this going to be the guy? Is this going to be the guy? Then tell me, if Giants are saying, okay, this may be the guy, we still think this may be the guy, why in the F is Tyrod Taylor getting first-team reps, sharing first-team reps with Daniel Jones? So they obviously aren't 100% confident with Daniel Jones up there in New York. So no one's going to take him serious till they get rid of Daniel Jones.
Exactly. It's going to be tough, man, to take them serious without him. So I'm gonna have them at 13-4. I know that's kind of definitely see 12-5 as well. 12-5 / 13-4.
Yeah.
That's if we could finish that way. I think it's going to be a fairly good record.
Well, we're the Giants on January 8th. That's the last game. So who knows? By then, I mean, the Saints will be tough, and I mean, the Titans, Bears, yeah. Titans are tougher than the Bears. Definitely very interesting end of the late season, early season, late season. Late season is a tough games, but then some easy games, like obviously the Giants game, which is in Philly. I mean, but at that point, who knows? We probably
I'm gonna stop sharing.
He might not even count, but we'll see. There goes the schedule, guys. There's a hell of a schedule.
Yeah, we broke it down. I think that's a pretty good 12-5. I think it's just either or, man. I'm content with either of those. Like going back from what we were last season, we got in the playoffs, but it was like we had Brady in the first round, and,
right?
You could tell we were outmatched last year, and we got the playoffs, which was nice. Jalen Hurts got some playoff experience under his belt, but we were definitely outmatched against the Buccaneers team that was a Super Bowl contender a year prior. It's going to be interesting. We're not playing the Rams. We're not playing the Bucs. We're not playing any of those top tier teams. While that could be good, the one thing that you worry about is if they do get to the playoffs, not playing that top tier talent, not having when you get to the playoffs could be a little bit of a detriment. But I think this team is stacked though on paper. So the one thing I'll tell you is that it depends on injuries. It all depends on I think that's the main key. You can stay relatively healthy. This team could be a force to be reckoned with.
I agree. I mean, if we could just talk about, guys, do we see where do we see the holes in this Eagles team? Because this isn't this is a great team. I wouldn't call it the perfect team, but I would call it
it's a very good team. It's very promising, right?
In a long time, where do you guys see holes? If any?
Depth, I would say, like we talked about in the secondary. They have a very, very good secondary. However, the depth behind it is not too strong. So that's why I'm key on
on injuries. You know what I mean, dude? It's just you know what I mean,
It'll be a
fellas.
downer.
I think it
Ultimately,
comes down to
injuries.
Miles Sanders, I think is due to it for a breakout year. It could be a little bit of a key on him. You know what I mean? Can he clean up the fumbles? Can he hold on to the football? He's had issues with holding on to that football. I think that becomes a little bit mark. So like he needs to tighten that up. I think it takes the pressure off him with Jalen Hurts being, running quarterback. We can have, but it should be. I think the defense is relatively sound on almost all portions. Maybe the linebacker position could be a little bit of a hole.
I would think safety more than linebacker though. What do you? Because
I don't know. Who do we have at the safety? We got
Anthony Harrison, Epps.
I think. Let me see. I think our safety position is. Let me see.
We have Marcus Epps and Anthony Harris at safety, but we don't really have. I know that we added the Seahawks player that we just traded JJ Arcega-Whiteside for. He's actually supposed to be special teams and safety depth. But they're saying, people are saying they're not confident in Anthony Harris's ability as a safety fully anyway. Compared to, and I don't blame them because compared to, look at what we had when we won the Super Bowl. We had freaking Malcolm Jenkins, man.
Jenkins.
I think Epps is actually going to be better in the secondary. Remember how sometimes they put him on the outside a little bit? I think that him in the secondary, I think he'll play a little. In the safety position, I think he'll actually be a little bit better. I think he could be quietly good. Actually in that position, Anthony Harris could be a little bit of a question mark. Jay Edwards, and then we got Kaiser White as our linebackers. I don't know, man. I really do think that. And then up front, you got Sweat, Reddick, Hargraves, Cox, Graham. And then on top of it, you got Jordan Davis, Milton Williams. You got Teron Jackson, and then also Derek Barnett is still here too.
Yep. Jordan Mailata. Yep.
We've got a lot of depth at the DL at the defensive line position up front. We got a lot. If we're looking in the secondary,
we got Jordan Davis. Yep, Graham. Pretty stacked team, but a decent quarterback. We'll just see because like Richard said earlier, the thing is the injuries, and you said the same thing, Steve. The backup lineups, sometimes they're not as strong, but there's a gap between guys that are on a come up, guys that are pretty much coming of age, and then some of the younger guys are haven't really had the experience to play in the NFL as much. Okay, they're drafted a certain way, some of them play, obviously, or play, college and all that, but it's guys that probably just need a little more more time on the field, you know what I mean? But injuries could be the main thing, guys, and just turn of events. Let's just say kind of turn events. Other than that, definitely some good first games and a good test. And if you kind of get the guys to play, guys that usually play, get some more time. And at the very end, you can very well have a great schedule, and then have basically a couple guys that they'll be playing and put the subs, and then make it to the playoffs. Ultimately, we think of the playoffs. No one's really thinking huge Super Bowl aspirations or expectations. We're just thinking about doing really well because this is a team that can do very well. If we lose, but we lose and we pour our hearts out there. We lose in a way where like we lost in the past over something stupid, as though we don't choke and we show determination, we'll be okay with this team. There's a lot of eyes on Jalen Hurts, That just
I agree with you, George, when it comes to the team. I believe that the team just wants to do good, but I believe that the fan base expectations due to the acquisitions. I believe the fan base is thinking about
that's it.
Super Bowl and playoffs and all these things that are way ahead.
Don't clear your way, guys. Think about building this team and think about winning some games and having some quality plays. Like you said, I like what I saw in the first game. Very entertaining. I seen it at work, so I wasn't really tuning on TV and watching everything play by play, but I could see, some of the plays we did and look good. We did lose, but it seemed like towards the end we kind of just, let go a little. And that's the thing, we got to start having the games where we stay consistent and the whole, the game we play well until, the very last quarter, the fourth quarter, and, we just start, tighten up. But like Rich made some good points. Some of the guys are seasoned veterans, some guys are gone, we still got guys like, Fletcher Cox and all that. So, Hurts. Some big names there.
Exactly. I think it's I'm gonna make an early prediction. I think if we go like this, I think it'll come down to the second game of the playoffs, so the divisional round. I think it'll come right down to the wire, and I think the Eagles could go either way. They could lose that game and be out in the divisional round, or the NFC Championship. But I think the NFC Championship, if they do make it, will be their end. I just I think that they need a little bit more time. I don't want to just put the goggles on. It'll really depend on what you see this season. You know what I mean? If the team is like really, really, really good,
yeah,
you never know. But early prediction, I think the furthest they'll make it is the NFC Championship. But I think if they play someone like the Rams, but it might be a challenge.
Yeah, it might be a challenge.
Yeah,
because I mean, that's another topic too. Steph, is that you know, have we seen this team beat good teams yet? Have we seen Jalen Hurts beat good teams?
How do we fare with bigger teams?
Hurts. You know, I got my Hurts season hat at home from LB, but the thing is, you know, and that's a legitimate question that people are asking because it's something that we haven't consistently seen is us beating good teams. You know what I mean? So we just got to see that, and then
very true.
Yeah,
good point. Another excellent
that's the whole
analysis.
That's the whole point. We still have a little bit to see.
Overall, before we kind of move on to the next one, and then it's slowly getting time, to wrap up. But like last few things as far as the team. What do you guys kind of like rank, or what do you guys think of the team? And also, as far as the coach goes, do you feel like the coach now has the time to really properly understand and learn the team? Because you can't be the coach for one full year or half a season and then the whole full season. But until you get the full season and you have the time to prepare and have the right acquisitions or the draft you wanted, players that could cover different positions, guys could play and learn, play with each other. And that's what we find out what the coach has been doing. So I mean, what do you guys think about the team? And do you think the coach has had the time to really assert the situation now? You can start with, I guess, Steve, and then we go around Marius and Rich.
I mean, this would be a good test this year too for Sirianni. I think he did actually a pretty decent job last year, to be honest. We really didn't know what the expectations were going into the season, and people kind of made jokes of his press conferences and stuff like that. But honestly, I think he did pretty well last year. I think this will be a good test, but a good year for Sirianni overall. What do you fellas think?
Maris, you're next.
Yeah, I think he'll do good this year. And I think last year with that Lions game really helped them see that this is a running offense and whatnot. And I think now with the acquisitions of AJ Brown, I think the offense is going to exceed to that next level. I am a little bit concerned about the defensive coordinator Gannon, especially when we play the big teams. If he's going to be able to make adjustments or whatnot, is he going to be able to contain Derrick Henry? Or the other guys or whatnot. So that's going to be a test in itself. But I think Sirianni will be just fine or whatnot. I think he can improve on what he did last year. And if we do make the playoffs or whatnot, depending on how far we go, it really depends on the teams that we play, the matchups and whatnot like that. Because if we get the right matchup, man, I can easily see us going to the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, solid. Rich, did you want to add something to that, Rich?
Yeah, man. I agree with Maris on that point on the defensive coordinator there. It's we haven't seen him do good against good quarterbacks. We haven't seen the coverage. We haven't seen the pressure on the good quarterbacks. So that's one thing I'm going to be looking at is Jonathan Gannon scheming because he has all the pieces. I mean, you could argue whether he had an excuse or not about having defensive pieces here. That's all right, whatever. But you have all the pieces that you need for defense, and we have all the pieces that we need on offense for the most part. I'm not saying this team is perfect, like I said, but it's one of the best Eagles teams that I've seen as far as on paper for a while. So
yeah, I agree.
Sirianni going the second year, I have confidence that I've seen improvement in his coaching as last year has gone along, and I've seen improvement going into this year. I got to see the defensive improvement against good quarterbacks. I got to see Hurts throw more consistent. We know he can do it, but you got to do it consistently. So that's what I'll be looking for.
Right.
I agree. I just want to add on the same thing. So basically, to answer my own question earlier, like I told you guys to go. Basically, same thing. I feel like the coach has been there for a while now. He's getting the feel. I feel like he's still kind of learning and still kind of getting used to the team and some of the players, like the whole team with Jalen Hurts. I mean, who knows? Because we don't know their playbook, we don't know the tactics they're using, some of their plays, the concepts, or what to do, how to cover, who to block. I mean, every game can change, and that's a whole other story, can of worms that we're not going to get into right now. But I think he's kind of getting better with it, Sirianni, and I do have some hope for him. But I still feel like he's still kind of learning the team, and he's still a little bit. He's not newer with the team, but still, it takes a while to get the environment here in the Eagles, understand how things work, and get the feel for the team. But I mean, he did pretty okay last year. So I mean, we're again, if we want to think positive, I think we got to give him a shot and a chance. And as far as the team, like I said, definitely an impressive team. Now it's about kind of seeing what it can do, and there's gonna be some good tests coming up. We have two games left in the season, and then we'll kind of take it from there. And by the way, guys, we will have another episode on early, maybe after the first or second game, because we'll have a big guest on in here. So we'll probably bring one of you guys, or we'll try to bring as much guys as we can. I'm not sure who's gonna make it the day, but we'll have some a big name, possibly some former football players. Well, this guy's a football player, but we have some more guys too, and we'll cover the Eagles more often. I mean, we'll definitely do another episode or two between now and say late December. I mean, it's a given. We all know that we always cover him.
We got one in September with a very special guest coming on, so we'll announce this thing. For now, you're just gonna have to wait and find out. We don't reveal too much up front,
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to that. Excited to talk to him. Yeah, me too.
Yes, sir. Me and Rich already talked behind the scenes about it. Pretty sure, man. It's
all good.
Talking about it, but this is. I'm excited, guys, for this season. I think honestly we can probably wrap up next couple minutes because we know a bit. So we broke down the schedule, guys. We kind of gave our thoughts, depth-wise, how far we think this team can go this year. I think we played a little hype video. I literally think this could be a really good year for the Birds. With strength of schedule, how stacked this team looks on paper, I think it comes down to injuries because of the depth. And then I think Miles Sanders and Jalen, are keys to this team. If everything can go in our favor, man, 13-4 looks like a really good record for us. I know that's optimistic, but I think if everything goes in our favor, I think it's a very realistic thing.
Yeah, man, I'm excited for the podcast too this year. As you guys are going to have a former Eagles player on here, so that's awesome, man. That's awesome that you guys are getting Eagles players on here. I'm really excited, man.
Yeah, man, we'll have you on when that happens too, man.
Thank you.
And everything.
Yeah,
That'd be cool, man. Same with you, Mario. We'll have you in, and I was even talking to our boy Heath actually earlier. He gave me a phone call, so maybe it's for that. I'm excited, guys. And Rich, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you too, Mario, man. I appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you for coming on, as always. 95.
Always a love. 95, 5 away from 100, and we're gonna do a big one for 100. So everybody who's been on a prior guest or something, man, we're gonna have we're gonna try to get everybody in here, man. I think we're gonna have Bash, man, for the 100th episode, man. That's got to be a big one. Probably going a couple hours, man, but we'll definitely try to get everybody that's been on here, as long as their schedule allows, to try to get as many guests as possible, man. We'll have everybody come in. Could be dope.
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to that, man. You guys are 4 away. You guys been doing a good job. Keep up the good work.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate that, man. Much love.
Thank you, Marius.
Yeah, awesome.
I've watched you guys since day one, man. So let's keep it going.
Yeah, let's keep it going, man. Congrats, guys, on the 95, number 95. You got 5 more left to get to that 100, man. So you guys,
it's like the 95 Bulls. Imagine if this was the 95 Bulls team.
Oh yeah,
that'll be a hell of a team, wouldn't it? I still have the 95 Bulls team for I believe it was Sega Genesis out of the game. It was fucking, man, good old days. It was 99, but it was the 95 NBA. I forgot the game. I think I must have had the game somewhere, but classic, man. I'm his game trader. He's trained all the old games when I was like a kid. I mean, I was like 10 years old playing with like the hockey games, the football games, soccer, FIFA, and all that. The good old days.
Awesome, man.
Yep. But man, definitely good episode, guys. Thank you for coming in. Some good insights. I mean, we'll definitely do another one. Obviously, as some games progress, and I mean, it's gonna be one of the most talked seasons as always. You know, people, especially men, love the fall because of football comes back, and we'll never talk about it. I mean, we will not be bored, that's for sure. Mondays and Sundays will be a little more eventful for us. Not meaningful, but eventful. Definitely, some big games, and let's kind of see how it goes. And I'm sure people will be joining everything from the DraftKings to the fantasy leagues. There's gonna be a lot of betting going on all over the place, as you should. We'll be here to cover. We'll be here, and we'll bring our good friend here. I'm not gonna say his name, but y'all know who he is. We'll bring him in September. Possibly another guy, and maybe because he has a big friends in the industry, bring another guy with him. So it'll be dope. Maybe come for 2 episodes and bring a friend. Yeah. So he comes in with a friend. All it does is bring our stock up, and he brings the brand of the podcast goes up. But we're just working hard, Me and Steve, you guys know already. You guys are 2 of the top. You guys are almost quasi members at this point, and you guys know how much work you got to put on here. The promotion, have the topic, have something interesting, even if it's last minute. Go ahead, boom, and just put it out there. We don't take breaks, but sometimes.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. All right, guys. You know,
All
I
right,
think
guys.
it's a good point to wrap it up, man. It's pretty much like 8:30, but as always, man, we appreciate y'all, to everybody who's out there watching, you know, all the feedback, you know, Lewis, Todd, you know, Matt, everybody
Everybody watching, man.
everybody out there that's viewing. We actually had a lot of
people watching. Desiree for putting the videos. Thank you,
Yeah,
everybody.
we had 10, 11 people at once. Yeah, the people who shared the podcast. I know
Anybody
Jess
did it for us, I appreciate you. If you share the
know.
video, it's awesome. Or put it in your IG stories. That's very much appreciated.
Rich, appreciate you putting it on the IG story, man. I know Jessica.
Yeah, Rich.
Jessica promoted on, shared us. I know Keisha promotes us. I know
Keisha does it sometimes. I know Candace does it sometimes. Yeah,
Desiree promoted us as well. Appreciate all of you for promoting us, guys. Every single person out there, you know, it's always appreciated. And then obviously, big appreciation to our guests for coming on tonight. So, Rich, Marius, appreciate you guys returning to the podcast, and much love.
Appreciate you.
Anytime,
Awesome
bro. Looking
stuff,
forward
man.
to coming back on, man.
Good work.
Yeah,
Good work. We'll see you guys soon.
We'll have you on for we'll have you guys on for the next Eagles episode for sure, man. We'll have you.
Yeah, we'll have you on.
But
it's George as well. I appreciate working with you tonight, man. But I guess, guys, this would be a nice place to wrap it up. So I just want to tell everybody have a great night, have a great weekend, and we will see you guys back next week for episode 6.
Enjoy your night. See you next week. All right, Rich. Later. All right, bro. Later, Marius.
Take care.
Bye.